The story of a good heart prevailing against all odds. A young black man growing up in the inner city sees his relatives dying from heart attacks, high blood pressure, obesity. Against all odds, he takes up an interest in eating vegetables and eating healthy. He starts growing beets because he hears that beets can lower blood pressure, reduce the chance of heart attacks. The beets start growing in his backyard, and he realizes he has a green thumb. Then he has a dream that if he can find a little 4x8 planter box in his inner city neighborhood, that maybe he could start growing some vegetables and healthy food in his little planter box. And while he's growing them, if they start blossoming and start growing into vegetables for people to eat, maybe some little kids in the inner city would see it. And they would come and ask him some questions about how to grow foods. And he can start engaging the next generation in healthy eating and growing their own food. And then he connects with some Chinese farmers in this inner city neighborhood. And together they start a farm, which becomes the largest community farm in San Francisco, the only USDA registered farm in San Francisco, visited by the Speaker of the United States of America. And during the COVID situation, they distribute food to families in need. And then during the Black Lives Matter, he starts the first ever Bayview Black Organic Farm. He becomes known as a community activist and receives awards and accolades. One day on the way back from one of these award ceremonies, he is walking through one of the dangerous neighborhoods of San Francisco and is jumped by a gang of 17 drug dealers. They beat him up terribly. And then a Good Samaritan driving by trying to stop the situation is beat up as well. And when the Good Samaritan speeds off to protect himself, runs over this young black farmer twice, crushing his ribs. He is in induced coma for 3 weeks, hoping for recovery. And when he finally wakes up, the first thoughts in his head are that he doesn't need his phone. If they want to steal his car, they can steal his car. None of that matters to him. He wants to be a farmer. And he bears no ill will even to any of these people that hit him, that beat him up, that caused such damage to his body. He feels in his own being, it is not in his being to hold any ill will against any of these people. And with this attitude, he makes a miraculous recovery and returns to the farm, triumphant to grow more food to help his community again. So that's the pitch. Now, I gave a headline at the beginning of this little recording, and another headline could be, "You can't keep a black farmer down."